Mike here. I'm going to show you how to clean a church candle lighter and snuffer. This is one from my parish, St. Stephen's here in Midland, Texas. And you can see it's pretty gnarly. The wick is missing. It does have this little wick keeper on the end, little metal tab that's connected to this little pull lever. You can draw the wick down into this tube and extend it when you need to light something. Right now it's got a lot of wax down in that tube. I'm going to have to clean that out, and then I'm going to clean the wax off the rest of the snuffer, especially inside, and polish it up with some Brasso. Here's some of the things you'll need to clean up the candle lighter and snuffer. A pair of gloves, a flathead screwdriver for removing the snuffer end, a toothbrush, several toothpicks to work out the nooks and crannies, a piece of copper wire with a fish hook on the end for pulling wax out of the retraction tube, a bottle of Brasso brass cleaner, some degreaser, and of course a new wick. First, you want to gently loosen all the wax that's built up inside of the tube by giving it some firm taps with the wooden end of a hammer. And what you're hoping for here is all the wax that's melted and dried on the inside of this tube will come falling out. You can work the slide lever a little bit too. Just give it some taps all up and down that tube where that wick is retracted. A lot of time this tube right here where the wick gets pulled back in will build up with wax, and I see I've got some right here. I'm going to try to get it out with this toothpick. If you don't get that out when you put the next wick in there, it's just going to jam things up. The next thing I need to do is to remove the snuffer, and it's just a flathead screwdriver with a screw holding it in place. I'll go ahead and back that out. It's got actually a couple washers and a flathead screw. So I was having a hard time getting the wax and the old wick out of the end of this tube, so I got a piece of copper wire and put a little fish hook on it, and I'm just going to run that in and out there, and each time I pull out a chunk of wax. Here's all the wax that I got out of the wick tube when I was fishing it out with that copper wire. And here's a big old piece of the wick that was jammed down in there. It was keeping everything from working like it should and kept us from putting a new wick in there until I got that out. And then all these bits of wax that came out with the wire hook. Well, here I am with the polished candle lighter, snuffer. It's all cleaned up now. These are some of the rags that I had to use to clean up. You can see there was a lot of built up corrosion and soot and wax on that thing. But it's looking pretty good now. Got the inside of the snuffer all clean, the outside, and the handle's looking pretty good. So, time to put a new wick on it. Once you have your candlestick lighter and snuffer all polished and clean, it's time to install a new wick. And we do that by utilizing this wick keeper, this metal tab that extends out the end of the tube. It's connected to this slider lever, and it's got a keyhole notched into it with a larger hole down near the bottom. You want to take your wick and pass it down and through that larger part of the hole at the bottom of the keyhole, and then guide the end of the wick inside of the brass tube. And once you have it going into the tube, You can then utilize the slider lever and pull the wick all the way in. And now you're ready to go light church candles. Thanks for watching.